Good evening, people. So today we are going to start with ethics. So let's quickly get down to business now because we don't have much time left. So koi idhar udhar ki baat nahi, and we'll just start with the ethics. See, there are 3 faculties who are going to take this session. So in today's lecture, let me just give you a brief overview how we intend to proceed with this section. I hope I'm audible for everyone, right? Just a sec. Good evening, everyone out there. A very good evening to everyone. What we have done is we have divided the portion, the entire ethics paper, in 3 parts. You have theory, you have application, and you have case study. With respect to theory, you have topics such as ethics and human interface. We have attitude. We have values and socialization, emotional intelligence, moral thinkers, aptitude and foundational values in civil services. With respect to application, we have probity in governance, ethics in public administration, and then we have your case studies. This is how we have divided the entire portion of ethics. As far as my areas are concerned, the first 4 topics is what I am going to take in your batch. So I will be taking ethics and human interface, attitude, values, human values and role of socialization, and emotional intelligence, right? Remaining topics would be taken by other faculties. So there is a clear demarcation of our areas, and that is why I am making it clear that these are the 4 topics which I will be dealing as far as ethics is concerned. From these topics, every year, approximately 5 to 6 questions are asked. That's there. Okay? However, the nature of the questions, as in when we are proceeding, we will see that not everything. See, this is, to be very honest, ethics is one of the most interesting paper. It is highly subjective paper. You can play around with the concepts, with the words, with the examples, and that would give you an edge, right? So this is quite an interesting paper. It's just that do not think too much. That's what I will advise, right? Don't overthink. Don't burden yourself. Whatever is being told to you, do that much. At least do that much. Trust me, you will be able to sail through, right? There would be certain assignments, certain efforts that have to be made from your end. I will tell you in what capacity, and trust me, you will sail through this paper. Is that very clear? Okay. Is it making sense? Now, how are we supposed to proceed with this paper? In general, also, I've been saying this time and again, there are 4 pillars to sail through the paper of ethics. The first is the syllabus. The best thing about ethics paper is the syllabus is very comprehensive. Barring topics like moral thinkers and all, they have very clearly specified that what are you supposed to prepare. Whether it is ethics and human interface, whether it is attitude, whether it is emotional intelligence, what exactly they are looking for, they have specified it very clearly. So syllabus is quite comprehensive. Now it is our task to make sure that every aspect of the syllabus is covered. We are prepared with each and every topic which is mentioned in the syllabus. Okay. First thing. The second thing is with respect to the terminologies. See, it is very important for us as far as ethics paper is concerned that every terminology has to be prepared in detail. Just by knowing the definition would not serve the purpose. I'll tell you how. If there is any terminology or concept, you need to prepare, first of all, the definition. You need to prepare the attributes, or let us say, the characteristic features. Third, you are going to prepare your examples. And what needs to be done? Now, what needs to be done depends upon what kind of topic you are referring to. I'll give you an example. Okay. Let us say there is a concept which you need to prepare, that is integrity. Integrity is a value. You have to prepare these concepts. So you will prepare what is the definition of integrity, what are the characteristic features or the attributes of a person with integrity. Can you give example from various walks of life with respect to integrity? And if it is a desirable trait, how to develop this value of integrity? Did you get my point, what I'm trying to say? This is what is known as holistic preparation. So when I'm talking about examples, so examples, let us say from some charismatic personality, or you can take example of some leader. You can pick the example from leadership, even from history, world history, modern history, ancient, medieval, whichever way it suits you. Administrative officials, or some current or your own life experiences. You can also take example from mythology. So it totally depends upon you from where you intend to pick the examples. So whether the examples are from mythology, whether the examples are from administrative officials, whether it is from some kind of leadership or the charismatic personalities, this is how it has to be done. Is this very clear? Is it making sense? Right? Why am I telling you? ऐसा नहीं है that I am not going to give you the content. No, I'm not saying that. But do you realize that there is no end to the number of values? I'm giving you an example. There are too many values. No. Integrity is there, compassion is there, empathy is there, courage is there, wisdom is there, honesty is there. There are too many range of values, right? For every which value, providing a detailed content. Okay, these are known values, we can provide you the content. Similarly, it holds for emotions. Emotion topic है ना, तो emotions कैसे हैं आपके? जैसे happiness, anger, इमोशन है ना, हेट्रेड इमोशन है ना, जेलसी इमोशन है ना. यूपीएससी सवाल पूछता है इन पे. What according to you is happiness? Give examples from your everyday life. What do you understand by happiness? What are the problems associated with anger? What needs to be done in order to control this emotion of anger? UPSC ऐसे सवाल पूछता है. After attending few lectures, you will realize it is more like a pravachan class which is happening, because I get the same feel that I'm giving you pravachan. Is this very clear for everyone? Is it making sense? Okay. This is basic minimum which I expect, right? I will be giving you lot many examples. If I'm telling you to prepare in this capacity, definitely I will teach you in this capacity only, right? But then once I am done with my lectures, I expect you to further take your preparation on the similar lines. This is what I want to say. Okay? Third thing is your previous year questions. The more you solve your previous year questions, the more you will start getting the hang of it. I think there's some issue. I am always being related with those topics for which we do not have a standard book. So again, we don't have a Lakshmikant for ethics, right? We do not have NCRTs where I can refer that, अच्छा ये पढ़ लो, ethics का content मिल जाएगा. ऐसा नहीं है हमारे पास, right? So you have to rely on previous year questions in order to understand that what possible questions have been asked and what are the possibilities of the questions to be asked in the future exam. So that is that you have to refer to previous year questions, and trust me, society and ethics, all the previous year questions have to be solved. Is that clear? Some are solved in the class, some on the similar lines you have to solve at your own pace. But make sure that you are solving these questions. Is this clear? Take care. And ultimately, the more you practice, the more you get hang of it. Ethics absolutely is not a difficult paper. That is my personal observation. If you have prepared your definitions well, if you have prepared your examples well, and you know what is supposed to be prescribed or what is supposed to be done, trust me, nothing is more interesting than this paper. It's just that you have to get the hang of practicing this paper. That is all. Is this very clear? So all you need to do is practice. The more you write, the more you get hang of it. And I will tell you how and when you are supposed to write. Is this very clear? So there are 4 things that you will keep in mind. First, you have to be thorough with your syllabus. Every component of the syllabus has to be covered by you. Terminologies and concepts have to be discussed and prepared in detail. You have to go through the previous year questions, and based on previous year questions, you are going to practice answer writing. This is minimum that we are supposed to do. Is that very clear? This is the previous slide. There's nothing. Ethics and human interface, attitude, socialization, emotional intelligence. These are the 4 topics which I'll teach. Rest would be taken up by the other faculties. So whether it is case study, probity in governance, ethics in public administration, aptitude, foundational values and civil services. Is this very clear? Take care. Now, these are the 3 words which are mentioned in this section: ethics, integrity, and aptitude. Ethics, integrity, and aptitude. There are 3 terms. Without giving me the academic definition, can you tell me what these words stand for? What do you mean by aptitude? What do you mean by aptitude? Ethics, integrity, aptitude. There are 3 terms. This is how the section is defined. This is the name of the section. GS paper 4, ethics, integrity, and aptitude. What do you mean by aptitude? What do you mean by aptitude? Mental ability? Can I say it is proficiency with respect to a specific area? It's a specialized ability. It's a potential ability of an individual. It is something which can be natural also, or it can be something which is acquired. Aptitude refers to proficiency in a specific area. It refers to specialized ability. You have an aptitude to be an administrator. That doesn't question your intelligence if you do not have the aptitude to be an administrator. For example, what I mean when I'm saying this, aptitude as a concept is different from intelligence. You might be intelligent, but you might not possess the aptitude to be an administrator. Intelligence refers to an ability of an individual to think rationally, to act purposefully, and to deal effectively with the environment. If I have to broadly define what is intelligence, so intelligence refers to an ability of an individual to think rationally, to act with a certain purpose, to deal effectively with the environment. I'll call that person to be intelligent. Maybe you are very intelligent, but maybe you don't possess the aptitude to be an administrator. Because aptitude is a proficiency in a specified area. It is a specialized ability or a potential ability with respect to a specific area. It can be natural. You were a born administrator. That traits which are required to be a good administrator came naturally to you. Or maybe you have acquired it over a period of time. But in case you don't possess certain aptitude, does not question your intelligence, because these two concepts are different. Is that clear? Is this making sense? So it depends upon which area we are talking about, right? So aptitude depends upon the area, because it refers to the ability with respect to a specific context, specific area. Is this very clear? Is it making sense? But aptitude, just by having the aptitude of an administrator, does not guarantee efficiency in the administration. Just by having the aptitude, it might be a necessary condition to be a good administrator. But it does not guarantee effective or efficient administration. Why? Because to what extent your administration is effective and efficient depends upon ethics and integrity. So just by having a mere aptitude for the administration does not guarantee that you are going to be an effective administrator. In order to be an effective administrator, you need to possess the ethics and the integrity. Is that clear? एक लाइन में लिखो, एथिक्स तो खैर हम लास्ट तक पढ़ते ही रहेंगे. Just write down in one line. Ethics is a prescriptive code of conduct. I am not teaching ethics right now. I'm just giving you one single definition. I am not teaching ethics. Ethics would be taught in every lecture which I am taking. Ethics is a prescriptive code of conduct with respect to the rightness and the wrongness of an action. With respect to the rightness and wrongness of an action. Whatever action you are performing, let's not discuss abhi, I'll discuss later. I'm just giving you one interpretation how we are going to proceed. Whatever action you are performing, whether that action is right or wrong, would be determined by the ethics. So ethics is like a prescription to tell you what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. So ethics is like a prescription. डॉक्टर देता है ना prescription कि ये दवाइयां खानी है, वैसे ही ethics is a prescription which tells you what is right, what is wrong with respect to your action. Is that clear? Is that clear? There are two personalities, A.Q. Khan and A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. A.Q. Khan and A.P.J. Abdul Kalam. Both were the scientists, nuclear scientists. One in context of India, other in context of Pakistan. Both were exceptionally good at their craft. Both were phenomenal nuclear scientists. However, there was one difference. APJ Abdul Kalam was a man of integrity. He was honest, he was ethical, he was having integrity. However, AQ Khan was the one who sold the nuclear codes of his country to the Western powers. Both were quite capable. Both had the aptitude. Both were good with what they were doing. They were the head of the nuclear program of their respective country. However, one was lacking integrity and ethics, and other one didn't. So that is the difference. Just by having the talent, just by having the features which are required for a certain job does not guarantee that you will be good at that job. Is this very clear? इतना कुछ समझने का है नहीं. Okay. I believe that I'm decent enough when it comes down to intellectual level, right? I do have the potential to think rationally. I do have the potential to act as per the purpose. I can do that, and I can very effectively deal with my environment. But why do I get a feel that I always had the aptitude to be a teacher, but not to be a civil servant? I might not have the courage to deal with the political pressure. I might not have the ability to say no on the face of the authority. I might not have those PR skills which is required to survive in this system. I might not have the wisdom to act according to the situation. But I do have the aptitude to be a teacher. Did you get the point? Everyone have their potential in a specific area. Did you get what I'm trying to say here? You might be intelligent. आपको नॉलेज पूरी है, पर उस नॉलेज को यूज कर किस तरह से गुड गवर्नेंस इंश्योर करनी है, मे बी यू आर नॉट एबल टू थिंक अबाउट इट. Maybe you are not able to see the holistic picture in which the crisis situation is existing in the society. Aptitude with respect to different elements. Aptitude with respect to a teacher, aptitude to work in a corporate sector. I just don't have the aptitude to work in corporate sector. I can't go to office for 9 to 5, even if I try doing that. I can't do that. I am more comfortable. I have more aptitude for the job which I'm doing right now, and that is why maybe I'm satisfied with it. And maybe I'm good at it. So I don't know. But I'm generally saying I cannot visualize myself. So does that make me less intelligent? A person working in MNC can also be an intelligent person. Person working in IS administration can also be intelligent. Person working in a political leadership can also be intelligent. But a political leader need not necessarily work efficiently in a corporate sector. A MNC worker may not work efficiently as a teacher. There are a lot of selected candidates who have cleared this exam, but when they come onto the field to teach, they are not good at it. Because teaching requires altogether a different aptitude, and to clear this exam requires altogether a different aptitude. I hope I've made myself clear. The students who have asked this question, is it clear? इतना देखा, मैंने बोला सोचना नहीं है. जब मैं बोलूं सोचने के लिए तब सोचोगे. You don't have to think कि intelligence is a subset of aptitude or aptitude is a subset of intelligence. That's not my concern. I told you the difference between intelligence and aptitude to give you a clarity that if somehow, God forbid, you don't clear this exam, that doesn't question your intellect. That doesn't. Is that very clear? Dhruv, I'll answer this if you want to know. There is very interesting story, since you've mentioned that, and Dhruv has mentioned it on this line only. So there was a very interesting story. There was a father elephant and a baby elephant. Okay, so baby elephant was now 5-year-old. So the father elephant was very angry with him one day. So then baby elephant asked that, father, why are you upset with me and this and that? So the father elephant said to baby elephant that, look at the son of Mr. Eagle. He is just 1 year old and see how he is flying. And you are 5-year-old and yet you can't fly. Elephant, even if he becomes 50 years, he can't fly. Did you understand? So that does not question the intellect. It questions whether you have the aptitude to do a certain thing or not. Is this very clear? आगे बढ़े, right? ठीक है? So ethics refers to a prescriptive code of conduct with respect to right or wrong of an action. So what determines the rightness or a wrongness of an action in a situation? I'll discuss ethics in very detail. Just trust me when I'm telling you these simple definitions. Just try to understand. I am supposed to act in a situation. Okay. How am I supposed to act in a situation? Which action would be right or wrong would be determined by ethics. So ethics is nothing but a prescriptive code of conduct with respect to rightness and wrongness of an action in a situation. Okay. However, just by being ethical also will not serve the purpose. Because maybe you are ethical when everyone is looking at you. However, when you are ethical, when no one is looking at you, that's what defines integrity. Simple words. When path of righteousness is followed across time and space, then you will be termed as a person of integrity. Write down, I'll explain. When path of righteousness is followed across time and space, it is referred as integrity. So just by being ethical also would not serve your purpose. Cheshta, to be very honest, whether we have the aptitude to for this examination. That was the purpose of this exam actually, the different stages of exam, that they were checking your aptitude, they were checking your ethics, whether you have those ethical connotation to your personality or not. However, to my shock and surprise, no matter how good intention UPSC had, but they have failed at it. There are a lot of people who clear this exam with flying colors, and they are the ones with least amount of ethics and integrity. But that's another side of the story. The purpose of this examination was only to check whether you have the aptitude to serve in the administration or not. And this paper of ethics was introduced to see whether that ethical tinge is there or not to your personality. However, it is very easy to camouflage our personality during those 3 hours, because that I have seen even after clearing the paper, and I've given you examples also that how people are very low on their ethics. But anyhow, that's not our concern. But yeah, Cheshta, so this examination will tell you whether we have the aptitude or not. I did not have the aptitude to clear this exam. This I understood. मेरे जैसे इंसानों को competitive exam clear नहीं होता. The people who think that you can complete the syllabus, you can revise your syllabus 10 times, ये कोई graduation का exam है. There is no defined syllabus. There was a time when I did not have any single confidence on my experience and the knowledge I have acquired. भाई masters करके आए हो DU से, कुछ तो पढ़ाई होगा. बट मुझे कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं था, प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड ही नहीं था. एक क्वेश्चन इधर से उधर हो जाए और मैं एकदम ब्लैंक. सो आई नेवर हैड द एप्टीट्यूड टू क्लियर दिस एग्जाम. दिस आई अंडरस्टूड. इज दिस वेरी क्लियर? ठीक है. So generally, let's get back to the path. So when path of righteousness is followed across time and space, it is referred as integrity. Righteousness as in you are following what is right. You are doing what is right. Is that clear? So when path of righteousness is followed across time and space, it is referred as integrity. Trust me, to be a person of integrity is of utmost importance. It doesn't matter whether you are intelligent. It doesn't matter whether you are enthusiastic. It doesn't matter whether you have the aptitude or not. They might be the necessary thing. But if you do not possess integrity, you will cause more harm than benefit. I gave you the example, AQ Khan. If you do not have the integrity, you will cause more harm. There was a statement which was given by Warren Buffett. There was a statement by Warren Buffett. Write down. To ensure efficiency in the organization, we should look for, to ensure efficiency in the organization, we should look for intelligence, energy, and integrity. To ensure efficiency in the organization, we should look for intelligence, energy, and integrity. However, in the absence, however, if integrity is absent, the other two will kill us. However, if integrity is absent, the other two will kill us. Aditya, we can say both. See, exact entire biography तो नहीं पता है AQ Khan की, that whether he had done wrong in his early life also or not. But yeah, he did succumb to pressure. He did succumb to his greed. He did succumb to his negative emotions, right? So that means he could not upheld the values of ethics across time and space. That means he did not have integrity. That is for sure. ठीक है? Warren Buffett. The statement which I gave, did you understand? Did you understand the statement? अरे यार मैं पढ़ा लूं. Can I teach? You give me some time, at least let me cover 2 lectures. Please give me some time. Stop writing on the portal. Give me some time. Warren Buffett. For next 2 lectures, do not ask the question until and unless I ask you to. ठीक है? Let me just cover. तुम लोग जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो ना, मैं सब 10 मिनट में अभी सॉल्व कर दूंगी, लेकिन मुझे टाइम तो दो. ठीक है? I'm repeating the sentence again. Warren Buffett says to ensure efficiency in the organization, one should look for 3 things: intelligence, energy, and integrity. However, if integrity is absent, the other 2 will kill us. If integrity is absent, the other 2 will kill us. Everybody understood the statement? है ना? All of you have written yes. This is UPSC question. What do you understand by the statement of Warren Buffett? 10 marker. This is what UPSC asked. अब ये मत सोचना कि अरे 10 नंबर कैसे लिखेंगे. किसी ने रावण बोला, किसी ने दुर्योधन बोल दिया, किसी ने हिटलर बोल दिया. Did you get my point? ठीक है? You have innumerable examples. If you've studied your ancient India, your medieval India, your modern Indian history, your world history, वहां वो examples you would not find it so useful as you will find it useful here. Did you get my point? This is the question asked by UPSC. It was a 10 marker question. What do you understand by the statement as given by Warren Buffett? Is it making sense? I'll teach you further and you will have a lot of content to write. But did you understand? अभी हम आज ही की क्लास में 10 क्वेश्चन देख लेंगे यूपीएससी के. That UPSC is asking very general questions. But to give it academic touch, you should know what is the definition of integrity. You should know what do you mean by intelligence, right? You could give academic examples. Right? You can talk about the attributes of a person having integrity. We'll discuss that later. But did you understand? ठीक है? So you just have to give it a slight academic touch and the question becomes easy. Is that clear? ठीक है? So this is with respect to ethics, integrity, aptitude as given as a heading of the section. I have yet not started teaching. I have yet not started the course. My another question, what is the significance of ethics? I've yet not started teaching. What is the significance of ethics? When I'm saying this question, I'm saying what is so good about being ethical? Let us say whatever action that you are performing according to the prescribed conduct. That this is how am I supposed to act. There are a lot of people who are getting confused. Ma'am, who would decide what is right? I will come back to the point, what are the sources of ethics? Just for your understanding, as of now, to resolve your query, your religion can decide what is right or what is wrong. It is prescribed in your religious scriptures. That can be one of the source of ethics, right? Your family can decide what is right and wrong. They can tell you, do this, don't do that. Family can act as a source of ethics. Did you get my point? There are leaderships which are existing. The one who were the followers of Gandhi will consider, okay, non-violence is ethical. Did you get my point? There are various philosophies which are existing, which can tell you what is right and what is wrong. For example, I'm not teaching, we are just discussing. Don't get bothered. मैं पढ़ाऊंगी सब कुछ. Philosophy कहती है, एक एग्जाम्पल देके बता रही हूं कि सपोज करो दिस इज माई गोल. ठीक है? एंड दिस इज द मीन्स टू अचीव द गोल. ठीक. एक फिलॉसफी कहती है that rightness and wrongness would be determined by the end goal. If your end goal is right, that means you are ethical. According to this, the concept of Robin Hood would be considered ethical, because ultimate goal of Robin Hood was to serve the interest of the have-nots. So to steal from the haves and to redistribute it among the have-nots. So end goal to acha hai. He was serving the interest of the marginalized section, right? No matter whether he was resorting to stealing or not, because this philosophy says that if your end goal is justified, then you will be considered as ethical. But then Gandhi ji says, nahi bhai, along with goals, the means also have to be correct. There cannot be a wrong way of doing the right thing. So if you are resorting to stealing, no matter with what good intention you are doing that, but you are resorting to stealing, that means this is unethical. ये गांधी जी का perspective है. Did you get my point? So it also depends upon what philosophies you are following. It also depends upon your family. It depends upon your religious teachings. It depends upon the leadership. It depends upon your own intuition. कभी वो gut feeling कहती है कि नहीं यार ये नहीं करो, ये गलत है. This is the right thing. Sometimes your intuition determines what is right, what is wrong. But if you have a dilemma, ultimately it is the constitution which will tell you what is right and what is wrong. Did you get my point? I'm generally saying, we'll discuss जब मैं आपको determinants of ethics पढ़ाऊंगी तो हम ये सब लिखेंगे. But अभी के लिए समझ आया जो confusion है. Did you get my point? You were saying na कि what is going to determine what is right thing to do or what is wrong thing to do. Your laws can determine, your religious teachings can determine, your philosophies can determine, your constitution can determine. There are so many determinants of ethics. तभी तो कहते हैं there is no one right thing to do. There are too many things which will determine what is right and what is wrong. But ultimately, being ethical means that in your capacity, you're doing the right thing. ठीक है? Let us say all of us are ethical. We are doing according to the prescriptive code of conduct. We belong to a society. There exists a constitution which is determining what is right, what is wrong. And all of us genuinely are abiding by the principles of constitution. Now tell me what is the significance of ethics. Uniformity, equality, mental peace, welfare, way of life, continued functioning of the organization, sense of satisfaction, absolutely correct. Right decisions. Self-satisfaction helps us achieve happiness. Makes sense? See, you guys have written the same points. What is the significance of ethics? Did I teach anything so far? Yet see, you guys have written such brilliant points. I haven't started also teaching ethics. Improved credibility of an individual, improved credibility or the prestige in the society. क्या? किसका मतलब? अरे better यार, कैसी? Better human being. Efficiency in administration, it enables us to become a better human being. Remember, being humane, life is a long journey from human being to being humane. That was the question asked in essay last year. What is being humane? Having these aspects, being ethical. So it enables you to become a better version of yourself if you are ethical. You would not do something which is going to harm others. You would not do which is wrong. Right? So you would become a better version of yourself. Absolutely. Efficiency in administration, in general, your efficiency will improve. It will improve the overall productivity. Why only in administration? Overall productivity will improve. You are ethical. You will have nothing to fear. All your life you have been ethical. You would have nothing to fear. You will be a person who will have courage. Social strife, social conflict. I'm coming to the point. Wait. So it will enable to prevent social strife. Social strife as in social conflicts nahi honge. You, me, everyone is ethical. We are governed, let us say, on the basis of constitutional provisions. Automatically, there would not be any conflict. If there is no conflict, we will be able to create a peaceful society, harmonious society, cohesive society. We will be tolerant. We will be accommodative of diversity. We will be able to realize the essence of unity in diversity. We will be able to create a virtuous society, nothing but Ram Rajya. So Ram Rajya doesn't stop at building the temple. It starts from there. So don't end this journey of Ram Rajya just by constructing the temple of Lord Ram. Ram Rajya means creating a morally virtuous society. In simple words, creating ethical society. You, me, everyone is governed by the ethics. And trust me, hands on your heart, when you do something good, doesn't it gives you a sense of happiness? खुद को कितनी अच्छी फील आती है ना, क्योंकि पता है सही करके आए हैं. I'll tell you a very small example. छोटे में हमको सब बोलते थे कि the people who are asking, the beggars to be very precise, they are begging. So one should not give them money. They might use that money for some wrong purpose. So you should go and feed them. ठीक है? So the first time when you helped a beggar to have a meal, do you realize that happiness? I don't know whether you have experienced that or not, but that's my personal experience. I was in school and for the very first time, all our teachers used to tell us that don't give them money. They might resort to, malpractices. So if you really want to help them, go take them somewhere and feed them one meal, something like that. And for the very first time when I did that taking the person, helping, having food, and I was in school and that feeling was very different. I was so happy. And I was looking for the opportunity to tell my parents, to tell my friends, listen, I did this today. That is juvenile. But then I did that because that was giving me a sense of happiness, because somewhere deep down the line, I knew what I did was right. So when you do something which is right, which is ethical, it gives you peace. It gives you joy. It gives you happiness. You are happy from within. There is a smile on your face. And when all your life you've been ethical, trust me, you have nothing to fear. No matter how much pressure is being created on you, but somewhere deep down the line, you know that you have never done anything wrong. So at least you can see yourself in the mirror. So there is nothing to fear. It gives you courage. It is courageous enough when you do not have anything to fear about. Is that clear? Somebody asked how it helps us in quick decision. Now I am under this dilemma. Am I supposed to do this? I am a doctor. I have to prescribe you a medicine. I am in this dilemma. Should I prescribe you the generic medicine or should I prescribe you the branded medicine? Now, generic medicine is going to serve my social value. That is, helping, compassionate, serving people's welfare. However, if I prescribe you branded medicine, I will get the commission and it is going to serve my economic value. That is profit. So now I am in this fix that whether I should serve my social value or I should serve my economic value. But then my ethics told me that you are a doctor. You should always be intended towards providing service to the society. So keep your economic values aside and think of serving the social values. I was able to resolve the dilemma among the competing value, and with this resolution of the dilemma, my decision making became quick because I knew this is what my ethics is saying and this is what am I supposed to do. So it will ensure quick decision making. Is that clear? It improves your credibility. There was a time during this COVID second wave when everybody was asking for help. So there was this representative of Indian Youth Congress. क्या नाम था यार उसका? South से था, Shrikant something. So he was the representative. So everybody, there was a news channel. There was a very famous anchor who was, blasting him off left, right and center. That how did he get access to the remdesivir injections? How is he getting access to the oxygen cylinders? How is he able to make provisions for the hospital bed? That means he is doing all possible kind of hoarding and everything. Then that same anchor, her brother was in dire need and she was a main spokesperson of certain people. So when her brother was in dire need of the hospital bed and the oxygen cylinder and she was looking for it desperately here and there and was seeking help, then finally when she was not able to arrange, the same female who was blasting this person left, right and center tweeted and asked for help and this person helped her. Did you get my point? When you are right, when you are a man of integrity and ethics, you have a credibility. हो सकता है there would be some people who will mock you. फालतू का honest बने घूम रहा है, फालतू की integrity लिए बैठ रहा है, 10 बार तो transfer हो गया है. Did you get the point? But when they will be in need of help, when they will be in a crisis situation, they will come up to you only because they know that you are a person of integrity, you are an ethical person, you have credibility in the society because they know you walk the talk. What you preach, you practice. So you are the one who walk the talk. Is that clear? Is it making sense? It removes the problem of cognitive dissonance. ये हम पूरा topic है, हम पढ़ेंगे बाद में. Cognitive dissonance, basically the mental discomfort. When you have contradicting or conflicting values, beliefs, it creates a very mental discomfort. ये करूं, वो करूं, एक peace of mind चला जाता है, ठीक है? तो जब तुमको पता है कि this is the ethics which is supposed to be followed, so that situation of mental discomfort goes away. Because then you know कि यार this was the right thing to do. I will not think about the consequences. I know this is the right thing to do. I will do it, no matter whatever are the consequences. So immediately that situation of mental discomfort which is created because of conflicting values, beliefs goes away. Is that clear? Blood donation. Yeah, absolutely. Ashish, depend what you are talking about. What you're talking about. Ha, Diksha, you can. UPSC, in fact, ask only that give examples from your everyday life. Yeah, Srinivas. Thank you. There's some issue with me, yaar. I think I'm taking too many classes. I am just not remembering the names, yaar. कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. मतलब anyhow. Ma'am, is always acting in an ethical way as prescribed by society correct? No, absolutely not. Who says society, what society is prescribing is correct? Sometimes society is prescribing which is not correct. Then what will we do? नहीं, सोसाइटी इज वन ऑफ द सोर्स ऑफ एथिक्स. तभी तो कहते कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. कभी भी डायलेमा है, गो बैक टू योर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. इज दिस वेरी क्लियर फॉर एवरीवन? ठीक है. डू यू अग्री टू द फैक्ट आई हैव येट नॉट स्टार्टेड टीचिंग? राइट डाउन अ क्वेश्चन. What is the significance of ethics? What is the significance of ethics for individual and society? What is the significance of ethics? What is the significance of ethics for individual and society? What is the significance of ethics for individual and society? What is the significance of ethics for individual and society? 10 marker question. Can you write this question? Can you write the answer for this question? What is the significance of ethics for individual and society? If I say, let's make it a 10 marker question, can you do that? हाँ ना, कुछ भी, जल्दी. What is the significance of ethics for individual and society? Yes, Dhruv, that is what I meant. Absolutely. Absolutely. हाँ आदित्य, we can say if every individual, in fact, there is a how should I put it? वो क्या बोलते हैं यार? Theory. हाँ, theory is not the right word. There is one school of thought, that's a better word. One school of thought which exists, that how do you determine that what is right and what is wrong. So one says virtue based ethics, which says that rather than debating upon what is right, what is wrong, if you develop requisite virtues in every individual, so if every individual is virtuous, automatically society becomes ethical. तब आपको इस debate में नहीं पढ़ना पड़ेगा कि what is right, what is wrong, because all of us are virtuous. We will not do anything which is wrong. So automatically it creates the ethical society. Yes, you can say Aditya. कौन सा बच्चे? एथिक्स वाला देखो, इसने लिखा ना स्टार्टिंग विद द डेफिनेशन ऑफ एथिक्स, स्टार्ट विद द डेफिनेशन ऑफ एथिक्स, राइट? देन यू टॉक अबाउट हाउ एथिक्स is significant with respect to the individual development. So individual में ये point आ जाएगा, individual में ये point आ जाएगा, ये point आ जाएगा, ये point आ जाएगा, ये आ जाएगा, ये आ जाएगा, ठीक है, ये आ जाएगा, ये आ जाएगा individual में, right? फिर social well-being में ये सारे points आ जाएंगे. Is that clear? And then you can conclude. Absolutely. ठीक है? By the way, एक second before you write this, the second question which I gave is also UPSC question, 10 marker. I'm telling you, अभी हम सारे questions उठाएंगे और आप यही कहोगे कि यही था ethics जिसके लिए इतना हवा बना रखा था. तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, बहुत ही अच्छा पेपर है. और गलती से भी अगर रामायण, महाभारत और इन सब में तुम लोग को इंटरेस्ट है, ठीक है, भगवत गीता वगैरह में, या कभी कुछ ऐसा पढ़ा वड़ा है, तो और अच्छा लगेगा. जितनी वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री में काम नहीं आती, क्योंकि एक क्वेश्चन आता है और लास्ट ईयर तो शायद वो भी नहीं आया था. तो उसके भी जो एग्जाम्पल्स हैं लीडरशिप के, वो एथिक्स में काम आ सकते हैं. ठीक है. यस शुभम, इट इज वेरी स्कोरिंग. कब आए थे यार 165 एथिक्स में? एक सेकेंड, इसी साल थे, लास्ट ईयर थे को. हाँ हाँ, इट इज वेरी स्कोरिंग. ये लिखो, लेकिन थोड़ी सी मेहनत करनी है. और एक, हाँ, एक सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात, अगर तुमने एथिक्स अच्छे से कर लिया, ठीक है, राइटिंग स्टाइल वगैरह डेवलप कर ली, मैं तुमको, आई एम जस्ट डिविएटिंग बिफोर यू आर राइटिंग एंड आई एम सॉरी फॉर डिस्टर्बिंग यू गाइस. एथिक्स में एक टॉपिक है ना, मॉरल थिंकर्स. मॉरल थिंकर्स से हर साल 3 क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, दैट्स फॉर श्योर. कभी कभी इट इज मोर देन 3 ऑल्सो, बट 3 क्वेश्चंस आर ऑलवेज देयर. ठीक है, सो 3 क्वेश्चंस आर देयर. In moral thinkers question, they give you a quotation of a thinker and they say, what do you interpret from this quotation? Matlab, they are basically asking your opinion with respect to a certain quote. However, the only difference is, in moral thinkers question, those questions are for 10 marks, right? So you have to write an introduction, body, conclusion, but just in 150 words, right? The same thing is being done in your essay paper, but yeah, the difference is in the gravity, as in the marks. There it is for 125. However, the writing style remains the same. It's just that in your essay paper, you have to write more. ठीक है? So if you understand this element, या तो essay अगर समझ गए philosophical लिखना, तो आंसर लिख लोगे, और अगर आंसर लिखना सीख गए, तो philosophical essay लिखना समझ लोगे. So that is the thing. Is that clear? ठीक, चलो, let's see this. Value, attitude, morals, ethics. What are these concepts? What are they made up of? Characteristic features, their interrelationship, and how do they develop? How do they develop? Every optional is helpful here. Pol science, sociology, philosophy, public administration, all these options are good. अगर मैं इनके ऑप्शनल के नाम नहीं ले रही हूं किसी के, तो ये मत समझना कि दे आर नॉट हेल्पफुल, बट हाँ, थोड़ा तो देखो फर्क पड़ जाता है. पॉल साइंस है, फिलोसफी है, सोशियोलॉजी है, सो एनीवे इट इज हेल्पफुल हो जाता है. एनी हाउ, लेट्स स्टार्ट. व्हाट आर दीज कॉन्सेप्ट्स? अच्छा, जस्ट वन डिस्क्लेमर. I have written value, attitude, moral, ethics, VAME. Till the time I don't come to this point, यहां पे I will break. I will tell you what is value, what is attitude, what is moral, what is ethics when I am teaching interrelationship. I will break. Till the time I am not coming till fourth point, when are we discussing these 3 points, you will consider this as one. इसको आप VAME लिखोगे. Value, attitude, moral, ethics, we will take it as one. When I'm discussing what is the concept, what are they made up of, what are the characteristic feature, right? Once I come to the point of interrelationship, then I will divide it. तब मैं चारों अलग कर दूंगी और यहां से when we'll start our journey. Is that clear? So let's quickly start. What are these concepts? VAME is a mental construct. It is defined as a mental construct which acts as an instrument of behavior regulation. It is acting as a mental construct which serves as an instrument of behavior regulation. Behavior regulation. They are responsible for guiding our decision making, influencing our choices, and directing our behavior. They guide our decision making, influencing our choices, directing our behavior. Diksha. I had started the syllabus long back. Okay. If I am saying this is the significance of ethics, if I am saying this is what stands for ethics, what is integrity, what is aptitude, so somewhere deep down the line, we have started the syllabus, right? But then you don't need to worry because I'll make you write everything later. As in when we are touching a specific topic, I'll make you write. But I know that you guys have already written what we have discussed so far. But I'll also make you write separately so that एक वो जो clear cut defined होता है ना कि हाँ ये पढ़ लिया, वो वाली feeling आ जाएगी, ठीक है? But in ethics classes, usually, even in society also this applies. Whatever I'm saying in the class, whatever example I'm giving in the class, everything is important. तो मैं कोई random बात करती नहीं तो फिर तो if I'm giving you example, that means it can be written. ठीक है? They guide our decision making, influence our choices, and direct our behavior. Direct our behavior. See, you need to understand. ये जो VAME है, अभी हम एक लेके चल रहे हैं, ठीक है? Instrument of behavior regulation. Instrument of behavior regulation. Now listen carefully. What I'm trying to say is that VAME, till we do not define their interrelationship, I am taking it as one structure. I am telling you your values, attitude, moral, ethics is like a mental construct. It is mental construct because you can't measure. Can I measure your values? Can I measure your attitude? Can I measure your morals? No, I can't. Right? So it is a mental construct. It is somewhere in your mental capacity that your values, your attitude, your morals, your ethics are existing. However, it gives rise to something which is observable and measurable. And that is your behavior. I can decipher your value system based on your actions, based on your behavior. But I directly can't measure your values. I can't visualize or observe your attitude, your morals, your ethics. I can't do that. But based on your action, I can determine your value system, your morals, your ethics. So directly, they are not observable or measurable. But they do give rise to something which is observable and measurable, and that is your behavior. That is why it is known as a mental construct. So it is, or these concepts are nothing but the mental construct which acts as an instrument of regulating your behavior. Right? How it is regulating my behavior? It is guiding me with respect to my decisions, my values, my attitude, my morals, my ethics. They determine my decision making. They guide my decision making. They are influencing the choices that I made in my life. And by doing that, they are directing my behavior. They are directing my behavior. Is that very clear? So it is a mental construct which acts as an instrument of behavior regulation. And how they are regulating my behavior? By guiding my decision making, influencing my choices and directing my behavior. Is that very clear? Next question arises. What are these concepts made up of? If I have to take this VAME, what are they made up of? They are made up of three components. First, cognitive or belief. Second, emotion or affection. This I will revisit once again when I am teaching you attitude, very briefly, because I'm teaching it today. So I'll be revisiting it when I'm teaching you attitude, because there is a topic in your syllabus that is components, structure of attitude. So these are the components of attitude. इसे C, A, B मॉडल भी कहते हैं. So इसे CAB मॉडल भी कह सकते हो, इसे ABC मॉडल भी कह सकते हो. And this is how it is written. So basically ये जो mental construct है आपका VAME, it consists of three things. Cognition, that is belief, emotion and behavioral tendency. It starts with a belief which generates an emotion which creates the desire for action. अभी मैंने कुछ समझाया नहीं है. Let me first finish it off, then ask the questions. It starts with a belief. Now the question arises, what do you mean by belief? What is that we mean when we say belief? Belief is an internal feeling that something is true. Do you relate to it? What is belief? Belief is an internal feeling that something is true. Beliefs can be unproven or irrational. It can be rooted in tradition, myth, folklores, superstition, verifiable facts, etc. It is said that these are the ideas viewpoints beliefs gives us hope. It is the belief on which human beings thrive on. Likho, I'll explain everything. Belief refers to an internal feeling. Something is true. Your belief can be unproven, it can be irrational. I believe there exists a life after death. I believe if a cat crosses my path, something wrong is going to happen. I believe you should not purchase vehicle on Saturdays. I believe if I keep fast for 16 Mondays, I'm going to get a good husband. Do you get my point? तुम्हारे beliefs हैं, कुछ भी करो. Is that clear? Is there any proof that you keep fast for 16 Mondays, you will get a good husband? Is there any proof? Right? There was a belief that Earth is the center of universe. There was a belief that sun is the center of universe. Is that clear? Sometimes it is said that there is a glass half filled with water. Few believe it is half filled. Few believe it is half empty. There are many who believe अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Kritika, absolutely. Her belief. Right? Belief है भाई. It's an internal feeling that something is true. Beliefs can be unproven, they can be irrational. Beliefs can be rooted in tradition, customs, myth, folklore, superstition. However, it can be rooted in verifiable facts as well. It refers to the ideas, viewpoints which are held by society, groups, etc. However, the best thing about beliefs is it gives us hope. We thrive on what we believe in. It gives us hope that ab to achhe din aayenge. So it's a very good thing. One should believe because it is the beliefs which gives you hope, which enables you to sustain yourself. मैंने 3 साल तक ये belief रखा था, अब clear होगा, अब clear होगा. That was the hope which I had, right? However, there are 2 types of belief. One is your core belief. Other is the peripheral belief. Right? One is the core belief. Other is the peripheral belief. Right? Beliefs can be challenged. Whatever you believe in, it can be challenged. Right? However, it is the peripheral beliefs which can easily be changed. However, it is very difficult to change your core beliefs. I believed at one point of time, women should not go outside and work. They are meant to do the domestic chores. However, when I saw that every other woman who is capable is availing the opportunity, their standard of living is improving. So then I realized कि अच्छा नहीं चलो इतना नहीं, women can go outside and work. That was my peripheral belief. But what was my core belief? That no matter how much women is going outside and working, she should not have the autonomy with respect to decision making. Domestic chores should be her prime responsibility. Whether you are working or not, that is optional. But doing the domestic chores, rearing, caring of child, taking care of old people, and not having the autonomy with respect to decision making is non-negotiable. Because that was based on my patriarchy. And that was my core belief. So my core belief can be challenged, but it is very difficult to change. And if it is getting changed easily, that means it constitutes your peripheral belief. Is that very clear? Is it making sense? Core beliefs is something which is integral to your existence. You believe in something. You've been brought up based on that belief. You've been socialized with respect to that belief, right? So the beliefs which are very integral to your personality, although there are many forces which are trying to change it. For example, my communal beliefs, right? My casteist beliefs, my patriarchal beliefs, right? They are my core beliefs. Do you really think that you can change it so easily? If it was so easy to change, it would not have taken us so many years. It's been 75 years of independence, still these problems are prevalent. In fact, the gravity of the situation has further aggravated, right? These are my core beliefs. Peripheral beliefs, social media को use कर लेना, ट्रांसपोर्ट कम्युनिकेशन को अवेल कर लेना, अलाउ कर देना विमेन को बाहर जाके काम करना, ठीक है? These were your peripheral beliefs, so they were easy to change. Is that clear? हाँ, absolutely. Core beliefs are because of socialization. Absolutely. नहीं, ये नहीं कह सकते कि पेरिफेरल बिलीव्स मतलब बिलीव्स आर इम्पोज्ड अपॉन. नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. हाँ हाँ, कॉग्निटिव मतलब ही बिलीफ होता है बच्चे, दूसरा वर्ड है. इज दिस वेरी क्लियर? बिलीव्स और कॉग्निशन इज द थिंग. CAB मॉडल कहते हैं ना, इसलिए मैंने सी कॉग्निटिव वर्ड लिख दिया क्योंकि CAB मॉडल है उसका नाम. इज दिस क्लियर फॉर एवरीवन? हैव यू रिटन दिस मच? अरे पढ़ाने तो दो, अभी कोर बिलीव्स पे आने तो दो. सब चेंज करवाएंगे, ठहरो, सब चेंज कराएंगे धीरे धीरे. हाँ हाँ, ऑब्वियसली. ऑब्वियसली. वेरीफाइबल फैक्ट्स मतलब यू कैन प्रूव समथिंग. There is a belief girl is not good with maths. Girls are not good with maths. This is a belief. Right? ठीक है? Similarly, there is a belief girls are not good drivers. Belief है. ठीक है? Beliefs generate an emotion. Beliefs generate an emotion. Now the question arises, what are emotions? Give the heading, emotions. Emotions. Beliefs generate emotions. We'll discuss emotions in detail when I'm teaching emotional intelligence. Today we are going to restrict ourselves to the definition. Emotion is a feeling. It's a bodily arousal. And all of us being human beings, we have the capability of experiencing emotions. You are sweating, right, when you are nervous. You are red when you are angry. When you get those goosebumps, if you're getting those kick and you're getting inspired, it is generating an emotion in you. It is generating a feeling, a bodily arousal. So that's emotion. Emotion is a reaction to an event. That event can happen outside, that event can happen within you also. And often your emotions are expressed through actions. And trust me, if you are able to express your emotions through appropriate actions, it gives you a sense of relief. तभी कहते हैं कि you should not control your emotions. You should let them express. But yeah, within a limit. तब हम सिखाएंगे आपको emotional intelligence कैसे बनना है. How to develop that niche for emotional intelligence. We'll discuss that later. But did you understand? So what are emotions? Emotions are a feeling. It's like a bodily arousal. ठीक है. So whether you are sweating, whether you are red, whether there are goosebumps and or kaap rahe ho, kuch bhi. So it is nothing but it is a development of a feeling. It's a bodily arousal. It is a reaction to an event which is happening within you, or is it happening outside? Someone has abused you. An emotion has been generated in you of anger and you have turned all red. Someone has scolded you. It has generated an emotion of being sorry. You are crying, right? Okay, you are sad. Okay? So the thing is that emotions are the reaction to the events, whether internal or external. And often emotions are expressed through actions. And when they are expressed through appropriate actions, then it gives you a sense of relief. इतना लिखा emotions के लिए. Did you write this much? Feeling, bodily arousal, reaction to an event, internal or external. It is expressed through actions. And once it is expressed through appropriate action, it gives you a sense of relief. However, once the emotions are generated, there is a desire for action. Once the emotions are generated, there is a desire for action. But it does not guarantee that you will perform the action. I'll give you an example. My belief is that the corruption is the biggest threat to the development of any country. And let us say development of India. This is my belief. I believe that the corruption is one of the major threat. So that's my belief, that corruption is the major threat or the obstacle, hindrance in the process of development of India. So because of that belief, it has generated an emotion of anger, hatred, disgust towards corrupt people, But it does not guarantee whether I will be the whistleblower or not. I work in a government department. I have a very strong belief that the corruption which is happening in my department is the biggest hindrance in the process of development of India. And it has genuinely generated an emotion of anger, hatred, disgust towards the corrupt officers in my department. But does that guarantee that I will blow the whistle? Is there a guarantee that I will blow the whistle? I believe that the most important duty of the citizen of any country is to serve the country, right? It has generated emotion of patriotism. I am feeling all inspired. Does that guarantee I will go and join the defense forces tomorrow? It doesn't. So your belief at max generates emotion. Those emotion generates desire for action, but it does not guarantee action. So only a desire is created. It does not guarantee that you will perform that action or not. Is this clear? You can give this example of corruption. Is it making sense for everyone? So far, whatever we have discussed, is everything clear? Have you written this example of corruption? Next point. You have a tendency to perform certain behavior. That is behavioral tendency. हैं? अरे behavioral tendency तो है कि you have a tendency to behave, that is desire for action. अरे तेरी, यही तो है third point. Desire for action, behavioral tendency. You have a tendency to behave. That is, a desire for an action is generated, but that does not guarantee that you will perform the action or not. Characteristic features. एक्चुअली सिद्धांत में यही एग्जाम्पल देने वाली थी पहले. ट्रस्ट मी, मैं यही एग्जाम्पल देने वाली थी, फिर मुझे लगा कि सबके पर्सनल, थोड़ा पर्सनल हो जाएगा एग्जाम्पल, इसलिए मैंने नहीं दिया. बट दिस इज वेरी एप्ट. ये मेरे साथ अक्सर होता था जब शुरुआत में आई केम फॉर द प्रेपरेशन. सो या, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स, स्टैटिक वर्सेस डायनामिक. लिखो, आई विल एक्सप्लेन एवरीथिंग, जस्ट राइट इट डाउन. Just a sec. Behavior. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर्स स्टैटिक एंड डायनेमिक. अक्सर लोगों को लगता है कि वैल्यू सिस्टम है, क्या होना चाहिए, योर वैल्यू, योर एटीट्यूड, योर मोर. देखो, और ओवरऑल इंटेंट को समझना, बिकॉज अंटिल एंड अनलेस आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टीच यू इंटर रिलेशनशिप्स, देयर वुड बी सर्टन थिंग्स व्हिच वुड स्टिल रिमेन अनरिजॉल्व्ड. सो टिल द टाइम आई डोंट टीच यू, पेरिफेरल है अंडर विजन लोगो, मैं भूल ही जाती हूँ विजन का लोगो है पेरिफेरल. Till the time I don't teach you interrelationships, please have some patience, right? And try to visualize as of now the broader picture. I am saying your value, your attitude, your moral, your ethics. The question is, are they static or they are dynamic? So I am saying neither they are static nor they are dynamic. They are relatively permanent. Relatively permanent matlab largely they are static. But I am not completely eliminating the possibility of change. I am saying your value, attitude, moral, ethics, they are largely permanent. But I'm not eliminating the possibility that they cannot change. Why am I saying that they are largely permanent? Because your value system, your attitude, your morals, they are the source of your identity, who you are. How would I know what kind of person you are? Your identity is reflected through your value system. It is reflected on the basis of the attitude. It is reflected on the basis of your actions, right? And your actions are governed by your value, attitude, moral, ethics. So VAME is a source of your identity. And do you think our identity changes every now and then? Today I am quiet. Tomorrow I am altogether in an aggressive mode. Okay? So what do you realize? That your personalities can change, but your identity cannot. Identity is the value system for which I stand for. Okay? Today there would be some days in my class where you would find me very jovial, right? Some days it would be that I am not very high on energy. There would be some days where I will be upset and angry with you people, right? So you would see different facets of my personality. But do you think that every day my identity is changing? If I stand for women rights, I will stand, whether I'm expressing my identity through laughter or some joke or a serious, or scolding you. So you are seeing different facets of my personality, but my identity remains the same. I know I have to stand with this cause. I know I have a certain ideology. I know I am a supporter of certain political institutions. Do you get my point, what I'm trying to say? I believe in secularism. That cannot change. Whether my belief is expressed with a joke or with a sarcasm or with being angry, that can be different. मेरा belief थोड़ी ना change हो जाएगा. I believe in secular country. I believe in secularism. I believe in women empowerment. I do. I believe in men empowerment also equally. So do you understand what I'm trying to say here, right? You can have different shades to your personality, but your identity doesn't have different shades, right? So it remains permanent, but I am not discounting or eliminating the possibility of change. For example, Samrat Ashok. There was an experience of Kalinga War which changed his value system. Where on one hand he was committing brutal, killings through wars, he was annexing and, however, after the Kalinga War, he adopted the policy of Dhamma. So there was a sea change in his value system. So I am not discounting that possibility. Is that very clear? There is a story of Anguli Mal and Gautam Buddha, that how Anguli Mal was the person who used to kill people and he used to chop their fingers and used to wear a garland of the fingers. But the day he met Gautam Buddha, there was an enlightenment which happened and he stopped killing the people. So yeah, did you get my point? So these are the, I'm generally saying, right? So aisa nahi hai, I'm discounting the possibility of change. All I am trying to say is that your value system is a source of your identity. It cannot be dynamic. ये तो फिर लोग कहेंगे ये तो अपने बात का ही आदमी नहीं है यार, ये तो रोज ही अपनी वैल्यू सिस्टम चेंज कर देता है. तो the person is not of stable mind. He is not the person who walks the talk. He has no credibility. His value system is changing every day and now. So ऐसा नहीं होता है. It's a source of your identity. और आपको क्या लगता है आपकी वैल्यू सिस्टम ऐसे बन जाती है? How have we developed that value system of patriotism? Why do we have a respect for certain figures in our life? Do you really think it has happened overnight? No. Every morning prayer without fail, you were singing your national anthem. Right? Every day you were respecting these people. You've seen the photographs of Mahatma Gandhi and everyone in your, classroom जो होता है या फिर staff room जो होता है. So you would have seen those photographs hanging there, right? So it shows that these are the people who have to be respected. On every year, 26th January, 15th of August, there have been various kind of fancy dress competitions at the school level where you were being asked to dress up like various freedom fighters. Why? So all of this has helped us to shape our value system, to shape our morals, to shape our ethics. Every year your parents were taking you to watch Republic Day parade. It took so many years for you to develop that value system of patriotism. So the value system doesn't develop overnight. There is involvement of investment with respect to cost, energy and time. इसीलिए कहते हैं it is very difficult to change your value system. So the right kind of value system should be shaped early on. From here arise the importance of right kind of socialization. What kind of value system is being given to you by your family, by schools, by your peer group? All of this is very important because once a certain value system is shaped, it is very difficult to change that value system. Is that very clear? तो आप बोलोगे तो मैम तो फिर डायनामिज्म तो है ही नहीं, तो ये तो बहुत ही ऑब्सोलीट और रिडंडेंट कॉन्सेप्ट हो जाएगा. ऐसे नहीं होता. For same set of values, you can have multiple behaviors. Is this clear? हाँ विक्रम, यही तो मैंने बोला कि ऐसा नहीं है that I have eliminated the possibility of the change. Sometimes drastic change in the circumstances or environment, there can be a change in your value system. Example, Samrat Ashok after Kalinga War. That is what I said. Is that clear? However, under same set of values, you can have different behaviors. For example, all of you, do you agree patriotism is a value? Is there any doubt about it? Do you agree patriotism? Video stopped. Has the video stopped? Team, just confirm. No, ma'am. Acha. Okay, it hasn't stopped. Okay. Just on a lighter note, I'll answer Sanjeet's question. Sanjeet, what a personal example you have asked here. Sanjeet, on the other hand, it should be that the belief is that I want her to speak to me every day. It has generated an emotion that maybe I like her or I love her. But that does not guarantee that I'm going to confess my feelings to her. Because there is an impediment where I fear that if I confess my feelings to her, I might lose her in the capacity of a friend. What if she stops talking to me? So that emotion of liking or love has generated a desire for action, but that does not guarantee that you are going to go and confess your feelings to her. Is that very clear? Can I proceed now? Is it clear? I hope you now understand how this example has to be written. Okay. However, under the same set of values, there can be multiple behaviors. Now, without doubt, patriotism is a value, right? But do you think, okay, what is your idea of patriotism? Answer this question. What do you think is patriotism? What is your idea of patriotism? इतना अच्छा application of conceptual understanding I have not witnessed in any other class. So that's good. I'm really proud of all of you. Now, on a serious note, you are understanding the concepts very clearly. Love for the country, respect for the country. Okay. Respecting countries, resources, people, love for the nation, this. Nation first, speak less, work for more for the country. Take care. Becoming IAS and doing something for the people. Fine. Love for your nation. Okay, I got the point. Take care. Take. Do you remember your fundamental duties? Do you remember the fundamental duties? I got the point, what you guys have written. Do you remember, my question is, do you remember your fundamental duties? Have you studied in polity? Write down a statement. When you love your nation for what it does, when you love your nation for what it does, it is patriotism. When you love your nation for what it does, it is patriotism. When you love your nation no matter what it does, when you love your nation no matter what it does, it is nationalism. When you love your nation for what it does, it is patriotism. When you love your nation no matter what it does, it is nationalism. Okay. So you guys are saying love for the nation. Can I say to abide by the constitution, respecting its ideals, institution, national flag, national anthem, to cherish and follow the noble ideals which has inspired us for the freedom struggle, to uphold, protect sovereignty, unity, integrity, to defend the country, render national service, to promote harmony, preserve the rich heritage, to develop scientific temper, to strive towards excellence, everything. Can I say this is nothing but the manifestation of patriotism? Can we say this? Yes? Can we say this? Did you understand my point? So can I say that all of us value patriotism? All of us think that patriotism is a value. But the manifestation of the behavior under this value of patriotism need not be necessarily that you are joining the defense forces. It can also be reflected when you are preserving a rich heritage, when you are developing scientific temper, right? When you are ensuring universal brotherhood, when you are abiding by the ideals of your constitution, you are respecting your national anthem and flag, that can also be the reflection of your patriotism. Is this clear? Do you agree with this or not? You can add more points to it. I'll not go into that, Ashish. Do you think the definition is self-explanatory? Don't you think the definition is self-explanatory? Patriotism is a positively connoted term. Nationalism can also be positive, can be negative sometimes. When despite whatever your nation is doing, so that is the problem. Is that clear? Is that clear? ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन लिखो फिर बात करते हैं. Write down a question before we proceed. In the context of defense forces, एक क्वेश्चन लिखो. In the context of defense forces, defense services, in the context of defense services. अच्छा एक और just a sec. एक और statement है. When you love your nation all the time, but your government when it deserves, that is patriotism. That is also a quotation. When you love your nation all the time and when you love your government when it deserves, that is also patriotism. I'm generally telling you the quote. ठीक है? Question लिखो. In the context of defense services, patriotism demands readiness to lay down. Patriotism demands readiness to lay down one's life in protecting the nation. Demands readiness to lay down one's life in protecting the nation. Full stop. According to you, what does patriotism imply in everyday civil life? According to you, what does patriotism imply in everyday civil life? According to you, what does patriotism imply in everyday civil life? 2 minutes इस क्वेश्चन को पढ़ो and tell me, can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? Read the question for 2 minutes. Are everyone will be able to write now? UPSC 2014 question 10 marker. Bilkul Diksha, yes, absolutely, absolutely. You are bringing pride for your country. Absolutely, yes. UPSC question 2014 10 marker. ऐसी क्वेश्चन पूछता है यूपीएससी. So, first lesson, your fundamental duties should be on your tips. First lesson, your fundamental duties should be on your tips. Exactly. Bilkul. Yes, Sumit. Absolutely. Yes, Aman. Yes. Yes. Do your fundamental duties. By performing your duties, bring honor. You should be courageous enough to stand against what is wrong happening. बिल्कुल बिल्कुल गिरधर, absolutely, you have the idea now. ठीक है. So now my question, now let's come back to the point. So patriotism is one value and all of us are patriotic, but that does not mean that all of us are going to join the defense forces. We can have our own interpretation of what is patriotism. Empowerment of marginalized. If you are working with an NGO or a civil society and you are working for the welfare upliftment of the marginalized section of society, you are performing patriotic act, right? When you are teaching, कहते हैं ना, each one teach one. So whatever knowledge that you have gained, if you are disseminating that knowledge among the larger chunk of the society, if you are creating awareness in the society with respect to government policies, provisions, programs, you are acting in the capacity of pressure group, holding your government accountable, then also that's an act of patriotism. There is a very famous quote which says, dissent is the highest form of patriotism. You do not have to act like a yes man. Obviously, the dissent should be constructive. It should not be destructive dissent. It should be a constructive dissent. But difference of opinion should always be there. You should hold your government accountable. That is what democracy is for, right? When media upholds the media ethics, when they actually act as a watchdog and not a lapdog, then also they are performing their patriotism. Is this very clear? Write whatever you want to write. Is this clear? ठीक है. So, source of identity. So, however, under the same set of values, you can have multiple behaviors, which is going to act some kind of dynamism. Is this clear? However, sometimes with drastic change in the environment, there can be the change in value system. You can give example of Samrat Ashok. Perfect, Neha. Perfect. Next. Whether it is absolute or relative. यार आज तो क्लास बहुत हल्की नहीं चल रही है. आज तो मैंने कुछ पढ़ाया ही नहीं. कुछ तो है नहीं. ब्रेक चाहिए तुम लोगों को. जल्दी 7:30 छोड़ दूं. I'll leave you at 7:30. Is value system absolute? Your values, your morals, your ethics, is it absolute or is it relative? Absolute or it is relative. Absolute perspective says values are constant. ऐसा नहीं है कि today something is right and tomorrow it would be wrong. Values are constant. It is independent of the situation. It is independent of the context. For example, as it is being said, there cannot be a wrong way of doing the right thing. So if you are stealing, no matter whether it was to feed the starving family or not, but stealing is wrong. So that means these values are absolute. Too much emphasis is laid on the duties. इसे डियोंटोलॉजिकल एथिक्स कहते हैं. घबराना नहीं, अभी पढ़ाऊंगी आगे. ठीक है. Relative मतलब it is context specific. It is dependent upon the situation. There can be nothing which is right or wrong in all these situations. So there cannot be anything which is right for all time to come. प्रसन्न, अभी तक VAME ही चल रहा है. इट इज VAME. अभी आई हैव नॉट टच. मैं वैल्यू इसलिए बोल रही हूं, बार बार VAME करती रहूंगी इसलिए. हाँ, जब कुरुक्षेत्र में कह रहे थे, हुआ था ना कि अंधेरा हो जाएगा तो फिर द वॉर के नॉट कंटिन्यू, बट देन लॉर्ड कृष्णा ही डिड हिज लीला बेसिकली. तो क्योंकि ही वॉज फाइटिंग फॉर द लार्जर कॉज, द विक्ट्री ऑफ धर्म ओवर अधर्म. सो या, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल नेहा, एब्सोल्युटली यस. I'll give you an example. There was a sage who never lied in his life. He was very honest all throughout his life. ठीक है. There was this man who was being chased by the dacoits. So that man came to the sage to seek refuge. And he asked the sage to protect him. However, when the dacoits came to the sage and asked that, do you know the whereabouts of this person? So the sage was like, all my life I have never lied. And just in this one situation, I would not lie and bring that trend to an end. Because I am proud of the fact that I have never lied. As a result, the sage told the dacoits about the whereabouts of the person, and subsequently the person was killed. How would you term this act of sage? Sage is saying what I did was right. Because speaking truth is the utmost value. Honesty, truthfulness, it is the right thing to do. But do you think at that point of time, speaking the truth was the right thing to do? So when you upheld the value of honesty for the sake of the value, then it is justified. But when you are doing it for your own pride, then it is not justified. Did you get my point? Let us say, let's take one example. Let us say that your friend has shared a moment of embarrassment of his life with you. He shared it because, you are a friend. He considered you like a friend, right? And he just wanted someone to listen to him so that he could have felt better. So he shared. However, you have told that moment of embarrassment of your friend to the other people. And then you were saying, oh, I am speaking the truth. When you were being confronted, you immediately blurted. But then you said that not for the sake of truth. You said it because you were deriving the sadistic pleasure, because you knew that this person would be embarrassed again. And how you are justifying your act? By saying, whatever I've said is the truth. So there is nothing called absolute. What you said was the truth, but what you did was not right. Why? Because that action of yours has caused embarrassment to your friend. How can you justify that? Is this very clear? Are you getting the point? Is this clear? Are you getting the point? What is absolute and what is relative? So something is right, something is ethical. It depends upon the situation. You have to take note of the situation. You have to take note of the timing. If the right thing is done at the wrong time, it is the wrong thing to do. So the choice of words have to be good. The timing should be good. The situation. So these are the factors which determines the rightness and wrongness of your action. So it is dependent upon the timing. It is dependent upon the situation. It is dependent upon the choice of words. You are a doctor. Your patient is dying. You know that. That's the truth. You have to disclose the truth to the family members. And you're saying, भैया आपका patient जा रहा है, ले जाइए इसको, नहीं बचेंगे. You could have said it in a better way. So the choice of words is very important. दोहा है ना, ऐसी वाणी बोलिए मन का आपा खोए, औरन को शीतल करें आपहु शीतल होए. Say something which is pleasing to ears, right? No matter if it is a truth or not. Buddha says that it is important to be kind rather than to be right. अगर इतना ही obsession है right होने से, so it is more to be kind. It is more important to be kind than to be right. That is what Gautam Buddha says. Is that very clear? Is it making sense? So the timing of the situation, the situation has to be right. The choice of words has to be right. Absolutely. That example of Bhagavad Gita, Ashish, absolutely correct. Is it making sense? There is a movie which you can quote. You remember? There was a movie called Newton, if you've watched it. The protagonist was Rajkumar Rao. Thankfully, मुझे नाम याद है. So there was this protagonist, Rajkumar Rao. So there was a scene now that voting has to be done in the tribal area if you've watched the movie. So there was an ambush which happened. So the forces were asking him to leave the premise. However, the voting was supposed to be done till 5 o'clock. And I think that was 4:15 something was the time. And he said, nahi, nahi, abhi bhi 45 minutes are left. I will wait. And even one person is coming to vote. I will ensure that the voting process is completed. So the forces were saying, ki, nahi, sir, you are putting your life also at threat and you are putting our life also at threat. Please leave the premises. You know, the attack has happened and everything. So that's not the point here. So when he went back to his desk job, so his senior called him and he said, you know, what is your problem? So with a lot of pride, he said, yes, I know. I am way too honest. So the senior said, no, that is your duty. You're a government servant. Honesty is the first thing that we expect. So that's your duty. Your problem is that you take pride in the fact that you are honest. That is not supposed to be done. You should not be rigid when it comes down to these things. You have to be flexible with respect to the situation. But that is not saying that compromise on your ethics. That is not the situation. Don't take it otherwise. अब ऐसे तो भगवत गीता में लिखा है कोई किसी को नहीं मारता, सब अपनी मौत खुद मरते हैं. तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना है कि कल से मारना शुरू कर दोगे और कहोगे कि मैंने थोड़ी ना मारा है, ये तो अपनी मौत मर रहे हैं. Did you get my point? Do not take that in literal sense. Try to see the larger picture. That it should be situation dependent, it should be timing dependent, it should be taking care of the choice of words. So being honest, that's your duty. Being the citizen, so being honest, being truthful, being compassionate, these are basic values which we expect from a good citizen. Stop taking pride in that, right? Is this clear? Is it making sense for everyone? Next. So do you have enough examples now? You can quote cinema, you can quote mythology, you can quote fictional examples also to justify your point. Is that clear? Next, culture specific or universal? Culture specific or universal? Are values culture specific or are values universal? That is, they are transcending the boundaries of different culture. Right, this much I'll explain. शांतनु, relative में बच्चे, relative में. Neha, this will come with experience. This will come with your intention. This will come. It is ultimately your intention. कभी अगर जानना हो ना कि किसी ने कोई एक्ट किया है वो सही है या गलत है, know the intention behind the act. If you have genuine intent to serve, if you have genuine intent to work for the upliftment of the people, right, automatically that would be reflected in your actions. They are culture specific. Aditya. Yes, makes sense. Values acts as an adhesive which binds the people of given culture together. It is being said for any society to survive, there has to be some amount of harmony, cohesion, stability in the society. And in order to ensure that harmony, cohesion, stability, one of the prerequisite is value consensus. So if I go by this understanding, it says that values are culture specific. Remember the first class of society? And I said the traditional Indian society, there are certain values. Values of hierarchy. Hierarchy, it was ritual status. There was strong religious orientation. There was particularism. There was collectivism. Familial obedience. There are values which are specific to a particular culture. So these are the values which are specific to India. You have hierarchy, you value hierarchy. That is why it is existing. Hierarchy is on the basis of ritual criteria. There is strong religious orientation in our society. We are particularistic, particularism, collectivism, familial obedience. There is a saying in context of India. In India, to kiss in public is wrong, but to piss in public is fine. Did you understand? So in context of India, it has often been said that it is fine to piss in public, but you're not supposed to kiss in public. However, there are certain values which transcends the boundaries of different culture. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि you do not have universal values. So there are certain values which transcends the boundaries of different culture. For example, love, happiness, compassion, empathy, integrity. These are the values which are universal. And they are transcending the boundaries of different culture. However, there are certain values which are culture specific. There are certain values which are universal. लिख लो तो बताना, बस एक लास्ट डिफरेंस करना है, सब्जेक्टिव वर्सेस ऑब्जेक्टिव. इंटर रिलेशनशिप्स आई विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम टुमारो. अभी घर जाके बिल्कुल नहीं देखना है कि हमने एथिक्स में क्या पढ़ा क्या नहीं पढ़ा. Let me finish tomorrow's lecture where I will tell you the difference between value, attitude, moral, ethics, norms, laws. When I'll do that much, then you can come to a conclusion whether you have understood or still there is some confusion left. So let me finish tomorrow's lecture first. Guys, if you've done, please let me know. एक last topic रह गया बस. Familial obedience. Last word, integrity. ठीक है? इतना लिखो, I'll explain. Values are subjective or objective. There is one school of thought which says values are objective. They are independent of individuals' existence. For example, Plato. Plato believed Plato says values are objective. School of thought hai. It's not that you have to follow a certain school of thought. और you cannot say कि आप ये नहीं पूछ सकते तो मैम फाइनली क्या है, वैल्यू सब्जेक्टिव है या वैल्यू ऑब्जेक्टिव है. यू कांट आस्क दिस. आप ये नहीं पूछ सकते कि वैल्यू मैम फिर एब्सोल्यूट है या रिलेटिव है. ये इंडिविजुअल पे डिपेंड करेगा, ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट पे डिपेंड करेगा. अगर आप डियोंटोलॉजिकल एथिक्स फॉलो करते हो आप बोलोगे एब्सोल्यूट है, अगर आप टीलियोलॉजिकल करते हो आप कहोगे रिलेटिव. समझ रहे हो ना? तो देयर इज नो वन आंसर. तभी कहते हैं दिस पेपर इज हाईली सब्जेक्टिव. प्लाटो का बिलीव था ऑब्जेक्टिविटी ऑफ वैल्यूज में. ही बिलीव दैट वैल्यूज लाइज आउटसाइड द इंडिविजुअल एंड डजंट डिपेंड अपॉन देयर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ परसेप्शन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ब्यूटी. ही सेज समथिंग इज ब्यूटी by virtue of it being beautiful. It has nothing to do with your understanding. However, it was being refuted. Beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. This perspective was being refuted. कि किसने कहा कि ब्यूटी ऑब्जेक्टिव है? हाँ शांतनु, we are doing it to give you a sense of understanding कि relativity is better than absoluteness. It is better to understand that largely the values are subjective because it is held by an individual. Anything which goes through a human interference, there cannot be absolute objectivity. Judiciary, it was supposed to be objective. It is an objective institution, no. But even then, the different judges at different point of time have given different judgments on the same issue. So whenever a human element is involved, it is impossible to have absolute objectivity. There will be a subjective aspect. Is that very clear? Is it making the sense? Himanshu, with time you will understand answer में क्या लिखेंगे. अगर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक पूछेगा तो अपने एग्जाम्पल्स देके अपनी बात को जस्टिफाई करेंगे, जैसे मैं कर रही हूं अभी. कि absolute, if you believe in the right that there cannot, or if you believe in the utmost importance of the duty that you are doing, you are a follower of deontological ethics, so it believes in the absoluteness of the value system. However, in the practical setup, relativity or the relative aspect is appreciated because it adds the element of flexibility. यही तो लिखवाया है, यही लिखोगे आंसर में. Is that clear? Similarly, there is a school of thought which believes that the value system is objective, right? However, there are certain values which are objective. नहीं तो फिर सब लोग का अपना whims and fancies और interpretation होगा, तो फिर how would you ensure social cohesion in the society? So there are certain values which are on a pan-Indian basis कह लो या pan-societal level, they are objective. For example, integrity. For example, compassion. You can't have a different perspective to it. Integrity matlab following ethics across time and space. Compassion matlab you are putting yourself in the shoes of others and trying to resolve their problems. So compassion, integrity, empathy, these are objective values, right? Apart from that, values largely are subjective because you can have your own understanding, own interpretation, own judgment to it. Is that clear? Is that clear? For example, there is a philosopher, Protagoras. So the philosopher said, to measure something, you add value to it. When you have to measure something, you add value to it, right? So all the values, whether it is truth, whether it is beauty, all of that, it depends upon human observer. Different school of thoughts हैं जो exist कर रहे हैं. तो what is good, what is truth, what is beauty, that depends upon the human observer. Because to measure something, it is the human who is giving it a value, right? So what is that value? It will depend upon the human observer. So largely it is perceived that the values are subjective in nature because there can be individual differences based on the perception, understanding, judgment. However, one school of thought believes that these values are objective, they are independent of individuals' existence. But largely, it should be subjective. क्योंकि अगर सब्जेक्टिविटी नहीं होगी तो फिर सबकी डेफिनेशन ऑफ पेट्रियोटिज्म सेम नहीं हो जाएगी. Your understanding of patriotism can be very different from me. Your definition of beauty can be very different from me. Is that very clear? What do you understand about truth? What is good according to you? There can be different interpretations to that, right? Is it clear for everyone? आप समझ आया आंसर शीट में क्या लिखोगे? Today I've given you a question, what is the significance of ethics for individual and social well-being? Then there was a question on that statement of Warren Buffett. Then there was a question with respect to patriotism, that is defense forces, right? All three are UPSC question. हाँ बच्चे, हाँ शांतनु, ब्यूटी सब्जेक्टिव है. एक टाइम था किसी, there was a lot of debate. Somebody used to find Aishwarya Rai more beautiful. Somebody used to find Sushmita Sen. That debate has always been there between the two, right? So yeah, beauty is absolutely subjective. ठीक है. See, regarding these keywords ना, तुम लोग का सेशन नहीं हुआ है, राइटिंग सेशन जिसमें ये सारे कीवर्ड्स लिखे गए हैं. संजीत, आई डिस्कस समडे, आज रहने देते हैं, बट किसी दिन ना क्लास की शुरुआत में आई विल डिस्कस विथ यू. गिव मी सम 2-3 डेज, मैं डिस्कस कर लेती हूँ. और लेट मी आस्क द टीम, नहीं तो फिर वो बाद में बहुत चिड़चिड़ होती है कि ये तो पढ़ाया था आपने, क्यों बताया दोबारा, तो समझा करो, ठीक है ना. बट नेहा, जस्ट टेल मी दिस, इनका क्लास हुआ है क्या ये वाला? तुम लोग का क्लास नहीं हुआ राइटिंग स्टाइल वाला, राइटिंग स्किल वाला, कि जिसमें ये सारे कीवर्ड्स एक्सप्लेन किए गए होंगे? कुछ नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. वील डिस्कस समडे, कल परसों में ही कर लेती हूँ, क्लास की शुरुआत में कर लूंगी, सो दैट एवरीबडी कैन लिसन. ठीक है ना? सो इज दिस क्लियर? सो द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ एथिक्स ऑन इंडिविजुअल एंड सोशल वेलबींग, ठीक है, मैं करा दूंगी, आई डू दैट. ठीक है. टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट इज ऑलवेज कंफ्यूजिंग? ओके. नहीं, ये तो प्लेटो ने बोला था ना, तो मैंने बताया तो कि ब्यूटी लाइज इन द आईज ऑफ द बिहोल्डर, दिस व्यू पॉइंट वॉज रिफ्यूटेड. This viewpoint was refuted. Pranav, ये तो प्लेटो ने बोला था, पर उसको रिफ्यूट किया ना फिर। गिरधर, इज दिस क्लियर? अच्छा ठीक है ठीक है, आई डिस्कस द मीनिंग ऑफ दीज टर्मिनोलॉजीज, आई डू दैट। ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है, मैं कर लूंगी। हम्म, समझ आया? ये प्रणव ने और गिरधर ने पूछा था। Did you understand? I said this with respect to Plato's assumption. Plato gave this example that how something is beautiful by the virtue of it. There is no subjectivity. If something is beautiful, it is. If Aishwarya Rai is beautiful, she is. See, did you get the point? But the thing is there कि नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. Beauty lies in the eye of beholder. Many might not find Aishwarya Rai beautiful. Many would find Sushmita Sen more beautiful than her because their understanding, perception, judgment about beauty can be very different. Did you understand? Right? Is it clear? So on this note, we will conclude the lecture, and I have taken the noting of the fact keywords को discuss करना. I will take the class. Don't worry. If I have said I will, then I will. ठीक है? I will do it. ठीक? So on this note, we will conclude the lecture. I'll see you tomorrow, and please be patient. एक दिन में ethics नहीं तैयार होता है. Give yourself some 3-4 days with me, and you will understand that slowly and gradually you are getting into the groove of it. And mark my words, trust me on that. ठीक है? चलो. Bye bye people. हाउ मेनी क्लासेस विल बी देयर? यार एक दो और क्लासेस हो जाने दो तो मुझे आइडिया लग जाएगा व्हाट पेस आई एम गोइंग एट. ठीक है, बट लार्जली आई टेक 8 लेक्चर्स. टोटल शायद 25 होती हैं. 8 लेक्चर्स मैं लेती हूं, केस स्टडी मिलाकर बता रही हूं मैं. 8 lectures I take, and Jatin sir also takes some 7-8 lectures, and the remaining lectures are for case study. So overall I think 22 to 25 lectures में हो जाता है. ठीक है? Is that clear? अरे मैं जब इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस पे आती हूँ ना, तो मुझे सच में ऐसा लगता है कि वो गॉडमैन वाली फीलिंग आने लग जाती है कि लिटरली प्रवचन चल रहा है. ठीक है, बट एनी हाउ दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट, सो आई लाइक इट समहाउ. चलो, गुड नाइट पीपल. आई वुड नॉट टेक फर्दर टाइम ऑफ योर्स. बाय पीपल, टेक केयर.